Hello, everybody, and very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the Witty Writers Show. How is everybody? Yes, it's a new week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I am joined by the fabulous Josephine Wrightson, author of Dark Fantasy, Paranormal, Urban Fantasy, etc., etc. She's got so many books. You need to read them. Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Edited, but good.
Oh, bless her. She's like the editing and writing queen right now. I'm also joined by the fabulous Bonita Gutierrez, who is also a fantasy writer, urban fantasy, etc. Fantastic book. You need to check her out. How are you, darling?
I am fabulous. Thank you.
Oh, now I want to say a big thank you, Bonita, because in the last few months, you've been so generous, giving away copies of your amazing books. It's a Werewolf Whisperer and others that you co-write. They're absolutely brilliant. And do you know what? I'm kicking myself now because you sent me a beautiful signed copy. Actually, do you know what? Hold fire because I'm going to go and get it. Hang on.
Okay.
I've got no special effects. I'm just going to do it dramatically.
Oh my God, this is great.
Where'd
she go? There she is.
Did you hear me clicking in my slippers?
No.
Look.
There it is. Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful? I love it. So thank you so much. I will treasure it as I do with Josephine's books because they're absolutely awesome. And I want to give a special, before we get on to the TikTok boom and talk about that, I just want to say that Josephine has got a new book on pre-order. Josephine, there's a quick info dump about your fabulous new book.
It is the first one I've tried. I've been trying to make pictures. The first one of a new world for me, this. And it's, I've got that many pictures. Dragons this time. There we go. Dragons. And I love in the cover.
I love that cover. I love it.
It is stunning.
Yeah. But I've also got some headers this time and meant to be a sort of seal for the actual dragons when I can find that as well, because obviously they're not printed yet. It's pre-order. I can't show you the actual book. And that's the newest one because we've lightened it up a bit.
Yeah. I love it.
Absolutely love that.
Yes.
I do. I really do. It's one of my favourites. In fact, everybody, next month when it's live on the 4th, assuming I hit the deadline, I'll put it on All Author as one of the cover competitions, I think. So there you go. You can all vote.
Oh, you are fantastic. You are fantastic. I'm not being rude. I'm just quickly sharing our link quickly.
Yeah.
Because I can only share on so many places in one go. I'm just sharing it so everybody finds us. Hang on.
You don't have 12 arms to do?
My kids think so, funnily enough.
What you need to do is just get him to wave his hand.
Yes. Use the force.
Nick was doing that earlier. He was sat with it on his knee. I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm getting him to move that glass for me.
That's hilarious. Right, hang on, bear with me. I'm just trying to quickly share this. I do apologize. For those of you who are watching who are authors and writers, if you belong to any groups for writers and authors, please share this live video so people can join in. I'm desperately trying to quickly share, but if I do it, they class it as self promotion. So I get slapped. I get virtually slapped for doing it. So do share if you can. But everybody, thank you for joining us. We are live here on Facebook. We're also live on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Because I'm trying to spread the love in multiple groups, hopefully. And we're also live on YouTube. So please say hello if you're joining us. And I'm so grateful that you are. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and follow and share. So we get the word out. So today we are discussing TikTok.
Woo.
It's so bloody addictive.
It's such a time sucker.
Because you go, I don't know about you ladies, but I specifically go to look at something, do a bit of research, and I always end up getting immersed in funny video. I love funny videos. Love funny videos. So just
Yeah, I don't. I'm very good.
If anybody has some funny videos, send them my way because I love them. Especially if they're funny kids or funny animal videos. I literally sit there and I'm lying, like laughing my head off. And my husband's looking at me as if say, "You're on TikTok, aren't you?" And I just look at him as if say, "Yep."
Well, you should be scrolling through your author TikTok people and your reader TikTok people.
Yeah.
That's how I start. That's how I start.
You gotta be more strict.
You gotta focus, Beth.
I know, I was terrible. Just so everybody who's watching knows, I have actually, with the help of Benita, put some links in the comments for the event of authors who are doing really, really well on TikTok. And they're from all different genres. And some of them are really quite funny, which I think is why they're doing so well, because you can sort of, connect with them. So I have done that. Before we get it right into it, we have got people joining us and saying hello. So I'm just going to quickly click on those. We have got the fabulous Heather. She says, "Hi, everyone from Gemma and I. Josephine, I love your new cover too." Oh, thank you, darling. And Heather, I think, has had a bit of an anniversary on her book.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So well done to you, Heather, because she has worked her socks off. So if you would like to be in a really nice book group, check out Heather Skinner's book club. It is absolutely wonderful. We've also got the fabulous Darlene. Hello, darling. She says,
"Don't forget Fanny."
Yes, and Fanny the cat, who's so cute, I have to say. We've also got Barbara. Hello, Barbara. Barbara asked. Barbara, bless her, she messaged me earlier and said she's going to have to leave halfway through. And would our show today be available later on? Yes, it will. Our video will be up on my author page, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and multiple other places. So you can watch or rewatch it later on. We've also got the wonderful James. Hello, James. He says, "Better late than never. Hello, all." I don't mind coming in late. As long as you're here, that's great. Now, while we're doing the show, if anybody has any comments or information to share, whether you've discovered something that works on TikTok or on any other platform, or if you just want to share, a great celebration of your being an author, let us know. Get involved, chat. We want to hear from you. Now, TikTok, boom, it has taken off. And I have to say, it has really taken off for authors and the book world in general, hasn't it? It really, really has. I want to give a couple of examples of authors who have really benefited from TikTok. And that is Ruby Dixon, because her Blue Aliens went viral, went absolutely huge, and everybody was talking about it, buying it, and sharing their reviews. And also Colleen Hoover as well.
Yeah.
I've seen that as well. Yeah.
So there are a number of authors that have literally just exploded on TikTok through going viral. And I think a lot of it is to do with people who do book reviews, or sort of, we call it Bookstagram or whatever, BookTok, who have read a books and just gushed about the books. And then all of a sudden everybody's buying it, and it's just got a momentum going, hasn't it? Now, if it was easy, we'd all be blowing up on TikTok.
Absolutely.
You've been into it, haven't you, Benita? And
okay, so here's the thing. About I don't know, late 2020, I was like, okay, everybody's inside, everybody's pandemic-y inside. And so I'm like, okay, what is TikTok? And okay, everybody's dancing around. It looks fun. That's not what I'm doing. But about a year later, the first time I went out to a bookstore again, I went to a Barnes and Noble, and then I'm walking around and there's the booktok table. And I'm like, what's the booktok table? And I realized that had to do with TikTok. And so I'm like, what's the booktok table? And it was just ginormous. I mean, I was like, what is happening? So that was about, the fall of 2021, that kind of time. And so, I was still kind of hesitant, but then I was listening a little bit more and hearing what people were doing. So by January 2022, I was like, one of the groups that I kind of follow, and Brian Cohen, he's a marketer an author, and he helps you sell on Amazon and that sort of thing. He was learning about this too, I guess, at the same time. So he put together a group webinar series when he brought in people who are TikTokers, booktalkers, and I signed up, and I was like, I want to see what everybody's talking about. And so from January 2022, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this, because short form video is the trend for marketing in general now. It is not just books, it's for everything. Yeah. If you see, it's 15 seconds or less, that's what people are putting up, and of course the generations before us or after us, they kind of know this stuff. They kind of are it's kind of in their DNA. They grew up with computers, they grew up with phones in their hands, and it's like, so for them it's just kind of like, yeah, I just get on there and I talk about what I'm doing, and I'm whatever. So for us, we're just like, okay. And so for me, it's like, okay, well, I was an actor and I'm trying to put that back into play with doing this. And because I love to make I love visual art, and that's kind of was what I started out in, and it's what I wanted to do with my life before I decided to write books, was that, okay, well, I can combine the two, and this might be a way for me to not only express myself artistically, but maybe get the word out about what I do. And so I jumped in, and I jumped in, and I'm telling you, I'm not an expert on this at all. I don't have a gazillion followers. In fact, I haven't even hit 2,000 yet. But I am a marathon runner. So it is a marathon, not a sprint. And so I am just kind of learning. And over the course of the year, you're probably hearing my dog drinking out of his bowl right now. If you are,
what that noise was.
This ding, ding, ding. That's my dog drinking out of his bowl right now.
It could be worse. It could be Poppy, my dog, starting, because she drops silent but deadly. But the moment you get her off, you just want to go.
Yep. You don't work, what they say in film: you don't work with kids and you don't work with animals. So anyway, I'm not an expert. I'm just learning. I feel like after a year of being on the platform, I'm finally started getting, okay, what's working for me and what's not working for me. I was kind of doing, it's like I do a blog that's about books, movies, and martial arts, which are like my three favorite things. And so I was kind of trying to do that on the booktok world, and I just don't think that's working. I sometimes will throw in a little movie thing, or like just like a little movie review or something like that, just visually. But yeah. I'm trying to really just sort of really focus down into just books, writing, what it's like to be an author, author life stuff. Because I think that's what the audience wants. I think that's what they want. They don't want to know that you have a black belt and whatever, which is what I do. So it's like, so they don't care. I put it in my books, but they don't care. It's like, and that's okay.
I think you're right. It is finding the right content, and I must admit, I've felt a little bit frustrated at myself, because I started with TikTok and had every intention of really going for it, because I could see it was a great avenue to go down for marketing, and it was really catching on. Unfortunately, I then moved house. And then had all this, hoo-ha going on at home, renovating and everything else. And now I've got my husband and my son primarily working from home. So trying to get in to do marketing videos and funny videos or whatever is so hard to do now, because I've constantly got people around me at noise like every day.
Yeah. I mean, you need a space. I mean, that's what I'm trying to find. Like, my husband is a screenwriter, and since lockdown, all the studios here in LA have now thought, oh, this is kind of cool. We don't have to be in the studio all the time. So he's at home, and he's always been at home working with writing, and but he's at home a lot now. I mean, like, so I'm trying to do a video out in the living room, and he comes walking by, and I'm like, ah! This is 25, dude. Stop.
I know. It is so frustrating. I am hoping, though, by the summer to have my own she shed. I'm going to have a she shed. It's going to be multi-purpose. I'm going to do my merchandise in there. I'm going to do my videos in there. I just need to evict my husband from the shed. So his stuff is all in the garage. And then I can have my she shed. So that, fingers crossed. We have got some more comments, so I'm just going to quickly pop them up. Let's have a look. Now, Lisa, one of my favorite people, I love her to bits. She was my old neighbor. She says they're talking about bans on TikTok in the news in Australia today, that all government phones are not allowed TikTok due to espionage. And Darlene says they're banning in US government too. In the UK.
In the UK.
I have to say, I don't understand why they're trying to ban TikTok.
I absolutely get it. And I've been having a discussion with one of my fellow TikTokers, booktalkers. I want to call them booktalkers because TikTok and booktok are kind of different. They're separate. Booktok it's its own community. So one of my fellow authors and I have been kind of exchanging. He did a post. His name is Jason Doherty, and he did a post on this very subject. And I kind of, messaged, or I responded to it, because we're both like, well, what's going to happen, And so we've been kind of messaging each other back and forth. Look, yeah, it's a really big possibility that here in the States it's going to get banned, because now President Biden is on board. And so there's a very bipartisan thing going on. And I get it. I absolutely get it. So for me, I'm going to use the platform for as long as I can, make as much content as I can. And then I store all my content. I do not leave it on TikTok. I save all my content. That's something that I would suggest people do, is I save every video that I do, that I want to save. Some of them are crap. So I don't
why ban it? I don't understand why they're trying to ban it.
Because
I'm asking this because YouTube has been around for God knows how many years.
Everybody owns your material. You're not safe in anything. I think it's because it's a Chinese-owned company. That if this company doesn't, from what I understand, and I'm not, again, just me, not expert, whatever, but from what I've been listening to and I've been hearing reports on, is that that if they are proposing, like the United States government is proposing, that this company, they sell to a US based company. And if they don't sell to a US based company that houses all its data here in the States, they will then push for legislation to get rid of it altogether. I think it's because it is all, they say it's stored.
All data protection, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think it's more about having the control here rather than it being in China. And having in-laws who lived in China, in Beijing, for several years. Yeah, and I've visited China. I understand. They will, if something they don't like is on the television or on the internet, it just all of a sudden everything goes black. It goes black. Like you stop seeing TV.
Wow.
You stop seeing the internet. They shut down. Back in 2004. This is what 2000. They would shut down there would be like rolling blackouts because they would just shut down the power and then put it back up again. It's like and everything is controlled by the government. So,
gotcha. Okay.
So I get it. I absolutely get it. But I also say,
it's a case of not putting all your eggs in one basket.
No,
you're right on the visual content, people. It's easy to pick something up and something sticks rather than reading it on the words and it'll flash past 50 seconds gone, it's stuck. But like you say, you save what you make.
Yeah, I save everything I make. And until the day comes, I'm going to use the platform because this platform is the biggest seller right now for books on any other social media platform. No other social media platform is selling more books than this platform.
Agreed.
And not just but paperback books. I mean, the voracious readers, they want paperbacks. They want hardcover.
They want to keep them. The stories they like to keep.
And they have these gorgeous libraries that they show off, and they're doing their reveals, and they're
color coded and also coded, and
it's stunning. It's stunning. It makes me so jealous because I love books. I'm like, I need that.
Well, I think going forward, if you don't do it already, this is something that I have always done. I've always linked my platforms. So my TikTok is linked to my Instagram. My Instagram is linked to my Facebook, etc., etc. So if you upload anything to TikTok, if you're not doing it already, share that video to your Instagram, to your Facebook, to your
the content,
your YouTube channel, to your website, which is super important, because then you're covering all bases. And then if TikTok does get taken off, then at least you're not going to lose all your content because it's already still on your other platforms, and it's on your website. But you do have to remember there are different trending hashtags with each platform. So you do have to alter and be mindful. So if you're doing BookTok, and authors of TikTok, sci-fi author of TikTok, sci-fi books on TikTok, you have to change those keywords, those hashtags for the other platforms. So when you post on Instagram, you need to change it to Insta Talk or BookTok, or
actually BookTok is starting to show up a little bit more on the other platforms, but that hashtag Twitter, because I think more people are like, oh, okay. And but yeah, you're right. You have to do
your research on
what works, and what's trending on each platform.
I share mine separately. I save it first and share from that one.
Yeah,
that's video. And
Facebook as well. You've got to change the music as well.
Yeah, and I also do a watermark removal on my videos. So I go to, you can go Google best free watermark removal things that are out there.
I don't mind having the TikTok logo.
I don't care. Like I posted the one for today's show. I kept it. I actually wanted the watermark on there because I was like, no, I want people to see that it's TikTok. It's about TikTok.
Exactly, because then people are more likely to share your stuff and follow you. So if I share my TikTok video, I love having a TikTok logo there because then people know that I'm on there and they're more likely to follow me and support me, which is amazing.
I have noticed though, like on Reels, if I put the TikTok, if I have the watermark on there, it doesn't get the kind of views that if I don't have the watermark on there.
Now that's interesting.
That's an interesting thing. And I gotta be honest, my Reels do way better on Facebook. My videos do way better on Reels than they do on TikTok, which I don't know. I think it's because it's a new thing for people. So they're like really absorbing it all.
Facebook is still a very popular big
Yeah, and so I'm, you know, that's another thing. So if TikTok does go the way of the dodo, you know, it's like we have these platforms because they are trying to catch up. So these other platforms are changing the way they do things because they need to go with the flow with what's going on in the industry now.
Exactly.
So,
We have got some more comments, so I'm just going to quickly pop them up and have a look. We got Stephanie. Stephanie's joined us. Hello, Stephanie.
Hi,
oh, happy first day of spring.
Happy first day of spring. I didn't even realize it was first day of spring.
It's raining outside. I don't know.
It's raining here as well.
It doesn't feel like it. Stephanie also says, I was wondering what that clinking sound was. LOL.
My dog. Let me tell you this. He does it, and I think he does it on purpose. When it's nighttime, we're watching a movie, right in the middle of the best part of the movie, he goes to his bowl and starts his clankety clank. Like,
oh, okay. Animals or children. We've also got the fabulous Artemis. Hello, darling. He says, I've been on for 2 months and I'm still figuring it out. And also James says, do you ladies have any advice on what authors can or should put on TikTok? I feel like a whore just saying buy my books.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what I think? And I always say this to authors. Always emulate what the most successful people are doing.
Yep.
In your genre.
Exactly. So first of all, as authors, we need to find other authors who are in the same genre as us, but also look at authors in general as well. Mm-hmm. Now, from what I can see, and Benita will probably be able to go more in depth than me, but the main thing is paying attention to what kind of videos they're posting. What are they posting about? Because not all of them do just about books. Authors, you know, do TikToks and videos about their books, but also their writing methods, books that they've read from other authors, which is always good because you can tag other successful authors and get attention that way. Pay attention to how they come across, their introductions, their style. Are they funny or are they more educational? Pay attention to how, you know, their purpose, their video's purpose. But also you need to check out if they use music. What type of music do they use as backgrounds? Do they use special effects? How long their videos are? I mean,
so I have some ideas here. Okay, so I've got there's a few people to really go and listen to on their Lila Dubois and Jane Ryland are two book talkers who started out I think 2020 or maybe a little bit before. They figured out whatever works for them. They figured out these women are selling, and they also have their own sell more books marketing school basically now. I would check them out. It's at Lila Dubois Books and at Jane Ryland. I would check out what they're doing. What I just did a webinar with them through Mark Dawson's group, and their biggest thing is to let me look at my notes here for a second. Sorry, guys.
Just quickly, while you're looking at your notes, I do think I've attached their links for their TikTok accounts in the discussion on my author page underneath the event. So I think I've got all the links there for.
So they suggest that you do a trend. Find out what's trending. Like I just did a trend that's Puss in Boots trend. That's off of CapCut. CapCut is a great editor editor app that you can use, and they're actually affiliated, I think, with TikTok, or they kind of have a deal with them, because you'll see people and it'll say, try this template. And I highly recommend you do that, because it will help you create a cool, fun video that you can adapt to, like if you want to make it about your book, or you want to make it about a writing thing, or you want to make it about an inspirational thing. They already have it there for you, and you don't have to be a film guru on how to make these things. It's like,
and just quickly, the to do that is as you look at as you look at the TikTok on your screen device, it's at the bottom left hand corner. It tells you that you
try
can
this template.
So
and it'll take you right to CapCut, and I highly recommend that. So I did a Puss in Boots one, which did really well for me. It did really well. It's like still going. So I'm really happy about that. So I'm starting to do that. And I kind of started doing that after I did this webinar, because I hadn't been doing stuff like that, but I'd been seeing people do it. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? So now I'm figuring it out. They said to do that. They say to, like, again, adapt it to what you're doing. See what what Beth is saying, see what other people are doing. And you can bookmark their video, and it'll go into your library of bookmarks. And then from there, you can go and kind of figure out what you want to do. You can maybe use a trend that they did or something like that, but don't copy them. Do something that's sort of original,
along the same lines.
Use the idea, it's like, use the idea. Another great marketing person out there is Jenn Jenn Book Marketing, and she says I think these, and I hope I don't mess this up, but the 3 things she says to do when you're trying to market your books is to make sure you can either inspire somebody, you can entertain somebody, or you can inform somebody. And those are the 3 things to think about when you're making a video. Am I going to inspire? Am I going to entertain? Am I going to inform? So those are kind of ways to look about how to shape your videos. And again, I'm no expert. I'm still learning it. I'm just now figuring out, oh, this kind of works for me. I'm part of an urban fantasy group on Facebook, and a lot of them are just putting out book after book after book. So because of that, I've started making TikTok videos, just sharing I'm like, hey, I'll make you a TikTok video. I share it. I kind of give them a little picture of the cover, and I just say, hey, this is out. It's about this, that, and the other thing. Go on Amazon, or it's wide, whatever, check it out. And I've been doing that. I'm not going to say it's blowing up or anything, but I think the idea is, more consistent you are, the more people see you. And that's how they will then go, oh, I'm going to follow this person. Oh, I'm going to check out their stuff, or whatever.
It's also about the algorithms as well. And too many people forget about algorithms. It's so important, because every platform works on algorithms. So the more activity you do and get, the more likely the algorithms are going to notice and start actively pushing your content. And also, everybody needs to remember to do a call to action as well.
Yes.
Don't be shy to ask people to like, follow, and share. We don't get enough. As authors, we do not get enough people liking our stuff, sharing our stuff.
Here's something that I find that I think is happening, because when I first started, people were liking and sharing, and they were doing it started to get to be slowly people having to tell people on videos, this is how you work this platform, because a lot of people are coming over from Instagram, where you just scroll through and you just you're just doing this. That is not how TikTok works. It doesn't work on just hitting that button. It's a very interactive platform. It's like the way the algorithms work is, if you not only like it, but you got to comment and then share. Or even if you're not sharing, you can go into where the little arrow that says share. There's a thing that says, oh, copy this link. You can copy the link to the video. If you just do that, registers in their system that it's a share because somebody copied the link. That's all you have to do. You don't even have to put it anywhere else.
Yeah.
But that's what boosts people, boosts the video, boosts their visibility, and gets their videos out more. So I think we have to continually train new people that are coming in that isn't just this isn't Instagram. You don't just go through and like things and you don't say anything. If somebody's asking you a question, hey, what do you think about this? You don't just like it. Go in and tell them what you think. You know, it's like, I mean, I'm a very interactive person, as you probably can tell. So I like communicating with people. So for me, it's like, yeah, I think this, that.
That's half of the battle, communication.
Yeah. It really
Facebook as well.
Josephine is the communication queen. She is fantastic. Honestly, she really does, because she, you know, if somebody comments or asks a question on any of her social media, she is straight there with a reply, with a suggestion or whatever. You know, she constantly interacts with her readers.
And it's not a comment that would be sort of for public view. I actually do private message, no end of people as well, and talk like that too. If it's something that my books, it's not out yet, I'll tell you, but I don't want it on Facebook. It's very, very easy to do that.
And it shows because, you know, Amazon reads and the book's flying off, you know, off the virtual shelves. She's doing so well. So, you know, I can't get this across more, you know, likes, shares, follows, any interaction with your favorite authors.
Readers love to interact on the platforms, all of them. TikTok is the same as Facebook, as far as I'm concerned. You can talk.
Exactly.
And you don't actually have to say, oh, well, go to my, you know, you don't have to actually say, oh, like me. You can just, they got arrows and stuff that you can just, point an arrow to your face on the actual video and say, and people know, go to my bio. You know, it's like you can
like, comment,
arrows pointing to it.
Exactly. You know? Just quickly, let's have a look. We got some more comments. Okay, with regards to TikTok maybe being taken down, it's Darlene says they say it's CCP controlled, like you said. Artemis says I took Layla and Jane's course. It's fantastic.
Yes, I haven't taken it yet, and I'm, you know, I haven't had the time to, like, because you have to set aside a chunk of time. I'm in the middle of writing a couple of books, and it's like it's a good 5 weeks. And if I'm wrong, it's intensive. It's an intensive course, but I know people who have taken it and they're taken off on TikTok. I'm on BookTok. They're doing well, or they're starting to really build their audience. And so I definitely will be doing their I just have to have the chunk of time to be able to do it. But yeah,
I know there's just not enough hours in the day, unfortunately. James said, what was that again? I had to get a sandwich. James, I can't remember which bit you're talking about.
You'll have to rewatch it.
Rewatch, James.
I'm sorry. Darlene says, I used CapCut for one of my videos, also Pellicut. Interesting. Not heard of Pellicut. That I'll have to look into that. But I'm really glad that you've tried it, and let us know how it goes, darling. That'd be interesting. Artemis says here's a CapCut post that did really well for him. With the link, so I encourage everybody to have a look and see what he did.
And that's how it's done. As simple as that.
Hey, Artemis, what genre do you write in?
Yes, please do tell us. Please do tell us. It's really interesting, isn't it? I have to say, it's a shame if TikTok does get removed. Obviously, you know, now we know why it might be getting removed. I can sort of understand it. However, as Bonita said, with Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, which is now a thing.
I just learned about.
Short videos. They're all the same thing. They are all the same thing. So even if TikTok does get taken down, You know, there are still multiple platforms for you to work with. And I encourage everybody to really focus on either the social media platform that they're super comfortable with and happy with and are confident in navigating, focusing on that one and then sharing to the other platforms. Or if you really want to go for it, you know, go for all of them. The main thing is to try and get yourself engaging with other people. That's the main thing. And like you said, Bonita, I mean, you're doing these wonderful videos highlighting other authors, and that's a great thing to do, because if you do read other people's books and you want to read about them, brilliant, but make sure you tag that author
if they are on the platform.
Yeah, because not only if you tag them, not only will your video come up when they research or search for that author, but you're more likely to get new followers and people. Oh,
that just happened to me, because from the last writer show that we did, I gave away some books, right? So I went out and one of the books that went out was to one of the book talkers, Otto Schaefer, who's phenomenal. You got to go to him. He's awesome.
What's his name?
Otto Schaefer. So it's at Otto Schaefer, I believe. He won one of my books, so I sent him a book, and then it was my first. Here's another thing. I guess they don't like the word giveaway on TikTok now anymore.
Yes, you have to say shmiveaway.
Shmiveaway. So it's the shmiveaway. So I had my first shmiveaway, and he did this beautiful reveal of my book because I sent it to him, and it was hilarious, and he's very funny. And so then I did a duet. And so, if you don't know what a duet is you take their video and you kind of do your video and you splice them together, and TikTok will do that for you. It's, it's a little easier than what it sounds. And so from there, I got a lot more followers. I mean, I just all of a sudden people started following me because he's got a bigger following than I do. And so people saw my book and they went, oh, and they went to me and they started following me. So I thought that was really cool because I didn't anticipate that, actually. I didn't know that was going to happen. And it was really nice. And thank you, Otto. It's like, so.
I'll tell you also quickly for our authors and writers that are watching, it's very important to acknowledge new followers and new readers, and I know you ladies are the same as me, but every time I get a new follower, a new reader, I always either comment or send them a message saying thank you so much for following.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's appreciative. People love having that little bit of recognition and love, that when you're humble, and God knows we appreciate every single like, follow and share that we get, because without that, nobody would hear about our book. I mean, we constantly are marketing and promoting all the time. We spend so much of our time doing marketing when we could be editing and writing our next book. So when we get help from other people, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, and I've been struggling with that. I've been struggling with time management on the market. That's why I'm sort of focusing on TikTok and then just sharing what I do on TikTok to the other platforms, because that's another thing that in the webinar I did was sometimes they're just saying just focus on one platform, and then you can just share it out. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time doing the other things, because it is hard to constantly do this stuff, as much fun as it is. And it is fun. I enjoy doing it, but it takes a lot of time. And sometimes it takes a lot of time just to do one video. And I'm like, so yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's like, that and acknowledging the people that are helping you out by sharing your books or whatever. The one thing about TikTok is you have to follow back the person in order to send them a message. So maybe, and I haven't even thought about doing this. I just thought about it just now. I was like, maybe do a video saying, thanks to these new followers, you know, and just tag them, you know. It's like, because you know, you may not want to follow every single person who follows you, just because sometimes they don't have a profile up, and sometimes they're bots. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes they're bots. I used to weed out my bots. It takes too much time. I don't do it anymore. I know it can slow down your algorithm maybe, but culling things takes a lot of time, so I'm just sort of kind of resigned to maybe there'll be some bots in there. I don't know if that's a good practice or not. Tell me if you know. but
it's crazy.
And it just gets to be overwhelming. So for me, I just like whatever. But if the person looks like a person, but they just don't have anything up, because some people just don't have anything up. They'll just be lurkers. They're just going to be you know, they just want to see what everybody else is doing. I don't necessarily follow those people back because I don't know kind of what they're into, and I'm, you know,
I'm exactly the same. You've got to do that. Unfortunately, it's sad, but it's
be careful no matter what you do, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Right. Just quickly, Artemis says,
"Oh,
urban fantasy with romance."
One of me.
I love it. Now, one thing I did want to touch upon today, and it's prevalent with TikTok and all the social media platforms, but more so on TikTok recently, it feels like for me. It's something that we all struggle with, and Josephine and I were talking about this recently, was we are constantly getting spammed. As I said, on TikTok, on Facebook, you name it, aren't we, Josephine? By these marketing people, digital marketers and all these other types.
They look about 12, half of them.
Yeah. I will sell your books. I will get you 10,000 followers, blah, 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 blah.
If you pay me.
Exactly, Josephine. Exactly. And people have to be cautious about this, you know, because a lot of these people are literally trying to prey on authors who are struggling to get their name out there. And when you click on their profile, oh, it looks great. They've got 1 million followers, you know, or 500,000 followers, and it looks fantastic. But when you actually look at how many people like their posts and how many people actually engage with their posts, the numbers are shocking. It's like 10% or less of how many people are actually following them. Then if you actually click on most of their followers or click on the people that have actually commented, most of those accounts are bots. They're not active. They're just set up accounts just to make that person look good. So please, 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 authors and writers, do your homework, because 9 times out of 10, if these people look too good to be true, they are. Do not waste your money on these people, because
ever pay for a review.
No.
When they say you can get on, like, we can bring you so many reviews in. Never.
Exactly. And Josephine will tell you, if you get caught paying for reviews by Amazon,
you'll lose them all anyway.
They'll take your books off, or your review will be gone. And Amazon and Goodreads are the same thing. So you will shoot yourself in the foot. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah. I mean, I get DM'd on Twitter all the time about it, and I'm just like, oh, thank you. You know, and I just, because I don't want to, like, not, because some people, real people actually DM me sometimes. So I'm not one of those people who says no DMs, but it's like, you know, I get those, and it is what it is. I just say
you have to wheedle them out, though. It is a very bad state of affairs.
Which is this is an interesting thing to bring it back to TikTok. Again, if you're authors and writers, if you're try and follow back the authors and writers that are following you, especially if they're in your genre, or in a genre. Like, I'm in urban fantasy, but urban fantasy is a subgenre of fantasy. And so just because somebody writes PNR doesn't mean they don't read UF. You know, it's like, you know, or just because they read PNR doesn't mean they're not going to read your books if you're urban fantasy.
I read anything.
Yeah, I read everything. I mean, I'm a horror, sci-fi, UF, PNR, thriller. I love books. I read biographies. I mean, you know, it's like, so I know you have to niche down to get your book out to the right people who
just
are
for
really
marketing, not necessarily for the reading.
But niching down to, and again, I'm not an expert, I'm gonna keep saying this. To me, it's like, then you're kind of cutting out those readers, especially on BookTok, because BookTokers are voracious readers. They aren't your Facebook ad readers. It's not like targeting Facebook ads. These are people that want to read everything. I mean, I have seen people come home on their book hauls and they've got 25 paperbacks in their bag. And I'm like, holy moly, if you're just paying $10 a box, you just lay down for $50. You know, it's like, that's a lot of money. You know, so for me, it's like, I don't want to niche down so much that I'm not following people who are fantasy writers. I love sci-fi, and I plan on writing sci-fi too. So, and I have a little bit of sci-fi in my book. So, and I'm not going to not include those people in who I'm following and who I want to read. So, if you are an author, writer, trying to figure out how to, you know, get your algorithm moving, decide that if you want a little bit more expansion on what it is that who you are, that you're trying to target. I know that kind of goes a little bit against what Lila Dubois says, but I'm urban fantasy, and that is under fantasy. So
you have an umbrella term, and then you're coming down from there.
You might, as a fantasy writer or a reader, might actually like my book because there's some really cool stuff in it. Not just
Josephine and I mean, between us, we've done so many author takeovers, haven't we, Josephine? And all these various online events. And I have to say, I've gained so many new readers who would never normally pick up one of my books or one of Josephine. You know, they're not generally into dark fantasy that Josephine does or sci-fi fantasy that I do.
Mine are extremely spicy, so there you go.
Spicy's very popular on BookTok, though. But I don't write spicy, really. So, you know.
But we've
everybody's different. We're all, when you're selling your book, because of the algorithms and all the categories that they are, you're going to have to start with your umbrella term and then work down. You can put up to 10 on, and if you've got as many books, I try 16 books, I will have 10 on that one, 10 on that one. They're all different if I can make it, or even the same on a trilogy. Don't keep all the hashtags the same. They're all different because I'm trying to get those into as many categories as I can get. But when it comes to reading and supporting other authors, I don't care.
Yeah.
I will support and work with anybody. It doesn't matter what they read, what they are, what they write. As a reader, if I like the look, I like the sound, I'll read it. It doesn't matter what genre it is.
And there are readers that will just only read one thing. That's all they want to read. And that's cool and that's fine. And like there are people out there that just read urban fantasy.
You've done your algorithms and you've done your hashtags so they can find you for that.
Exactly.
Following people, that's entirely different.
But also what I want to say is when you follow somebody back, some people just do a flat out there. Sometimes they'll just send out their video to everybody that follows them and into their direct message, their video. I don't do that. That doesn't make me feel comfortable. I will approach somebody once I've kind of established a little bit of a rapport. I will say, hey, I'll message them and I'll say, hey, I have this video. If you wouldn't mind sharing it, please do. And please feel free to message me any videos that you want me to share, and I will do the same for you. And I kind of had, like, I do that. You guys do. We all do that for each other. So it's like, you know, that's kind of how I I do it because that makes me comfortable. I know some people who just kind of send it all out to everybody that they, and I'm not comfortable with that. But
I haven't used everybody on Facebook either. Everybody, no, I don't use that.
I don't feel comfortable with that. I feel like I need to have a rapport with the author before I need to say, look, and please do that. I will absolutely reciprocate.
Yeah.
And I think then that helps us all.
Yeah, authors do. If you can build up those type of relationships, people will genuinely do that for you, because it's
the majority there are a few that are
exactly. Oh yeah, I know.
We've
all encountered them who are just takers. Ladies, we are running out of time. You guys have been awesome. Josephine, I was wondering if maybe you could come on again soon and maybe do a book reading of your new book.
Cool.
I haven't done a reading yet, but maybe.
You
put me on the spot.
Talk her into it. Twist her on.
But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you everybody who has joined in and watched today. Just quickly, Artemis also is classed as contemporary fantasy as well. So again, talking about that umbrella. But thank you so much, everybody. If you have any success with TikTok or Reels, we'll cover Reels as well. If you do Instagram Reels or Facebook Reels and you've had real success and you found something that works, please let us know. Please put it in the comments. And if you want to share your TikTok account or your other author pages in the comments for everybody to check out, please do. I did put in, I believe, the 2 links for the 2 authors that Bonita mentioned earlier who are doing really well, and others. So there are plenty of authors in the comments that you can check out. I think I put it on the event page, so it's all there. And let us know how you're doing. What works for you? What have you discovered? What do you like and don't like about TikTok and Reels? Please tell us, because we would love to know. We're all here to support each other. We're not competition. We're here to support another. So thank you very much. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share. Please follow all our author pages as well.
Yes. Follow me on TikTok. I'm at Bonita Gutierrez author. Is that if you want to?
And you can Google all 3 of us and all our stuff comes up. So you can follow us everywhere. But thank you everybody for watching, and hopefully we'll be doing another show very soon. So thank you, and bye for now.
Bye everybody.
Bye.